99X, Barnes and Leslie. We are your Morning X. We're right inside some true crime. Jenifer Faison is here. She has Betrayal, The Perfect Husband on Hulu. Also Betrayal, the podcast, which is a story about her life. And if you missed the first segment, go to the podcast later and catch up because it's an unbelievable story. And one that I think, there's probably people, Jenifer, listening right now whose spouse is up to something.
Yeah, driving here to the interview, my mom and I were talking about that. And that was one of the questions she said. Have you, in going through all of this, realized or found out that this happens a lot more frequently than people know? And maybe not to this extreme that my ex-husband, but I think it does happen in marriages a lot more than people let on even. It's a topic I think that gets swept under the rug because there's so much shame around it.
Is there a restraining order? Like, can he not contact you in any way, or is there anything like that?
No, I'm technically not the victim.
Okay.
So the student has that restraining order.
So there's just the one student?
Correct.
But there's a whole bunch of other women?
Correct.
I'm kind of surprised there were no other students that came forward, because I also read that he would create these fake papers for these unsanctioned field trips to lure students out of the campus and then assault them. So has anybody else come forward that you know of that have pressed charges against him?
Press charges, no. I think the statute of limitations is up. I think it's only 3 to 5 years in Georgia, which gives you no time at all, to be able to say, wait a second, this happened to me. To answer your question, though, we have had other students come forward and talk about at least inappropriate behavior, and that's some of the stuff that you'll hear in the docuseries.
That's on Hulu, by the way, Betrayal, The Perfect Husband. Here's another clip where Jen was talking to Spencer from jail, and again, in his voice, there's just no remorse, there's no empathy, for me, that's what I'm hearing. Here's another quick clip, and then we shall discuss.
A few years earlier in his letters, like the ones we heard in episode 7, Spencer seemed to deny culpability by saying women just made themselves available to him. Had time changed the story?
In one of the letters that you wrote me, you said that you never sought after it. Do you still feel that way?
Well, yes. I have to answer this in two ways. Yes, meaning that I was never on a long path that I chose to seek it out. It's just an opportunity would present itself, and then before I knew it, I was pursuing it.
Who says that? No, I wasn't trying to get any action, but it just came to me.
60, 80 women just came on to him. Yes.
But he was never like missing in the middle of the night, or when would he do these things?
I'm telling you, and I know it's such an unbelievable part of the story, but there were no red flags. He was so present daily. He was home right after, work. And
this is an uncomfortable question, but I need to ask it. Did you have a normal sex life?
We did.
So
we did.
You didn't think anything like, oh, something weird's going on because he doesn't want to be with me?
No,
he didn't want her to know, basically.
Yeah. It was almost like he was, I was the wife and put in kind of this category where, he treated me respectfully in a way. And then there was this other side of him, this deviant side.
This is someone who could have spent life in prison, honestly, if more people had come forward. Honestly, how has this hurt you in future relationships as far as trusting?
I really feel this way. I'm not just saying it, but I believe that I met the one sociopath in my life, and I don't think I'll meet another one. I'm hoping I will just meet a normal person and can go on trusting just like you should be able to.
He doesn't sound like a person who will probably get out of jail when he got out of jail and ran to get help. He sounds like he does not think he has a problem. He just got caught.
See, and that's my biggest issue with it. Again, another reason to put the story out, not just to help others, but to kind of show how serious this issue is. This isn't just, oh, I'm going to stop now that I got caught.
Man, how is the show going to be told on Hulu? How is the story going to be told in the 3-piece series?
I think what's going to be really different and interesting about the docuseries is all of the visuals that you get to see. You know, you see us back in college together.
For real, or this is enacted?
No, this is like real video.
Oh, wow.
You know, and we've got our wedding video, and
he didn't have to sign off on any of that?
No.
Really? That surprises me, just because there were two parties, involved. When you say we.
Right. I think partly because it's public record.
Oh, right. That's interesting. So, so this is not told. Is this you? I haven't watched it yet. Is this you telling the story with supplemented clips, or?
Yes. So I'm telling a lot of the story, plus we have interviews with people who were friends with him. We have an interview with one of the women he had an affair with. My parents talk about it. And then there are some reenactments as well.
How odd is it for you, because couples have friends together? Are you still friends with those people that you were all friends with?
Yeah, when this happened, I really had the support of everybody, because
That's good.
Everybody was just as shocked as I was. So it was like we all came together to mourn the loss of this person that we all thought we knew and was so amazing.
Did he ever ask for your forgiveness?
He did in his letters. I don't know that I ever really, really believed it, though.
It just sounds so. I've got to rush. I mean, this is just out on Hulu. Betrayal. This is Jenifer Faison. I want to play another clip from jail. And we talk about, thinking about victims. And I don't feel like he thinks there are any victims.
Correct.
Besides him. Like that he's his tone is interesting. Let's go back to the jail call.
I look at what you were doing our entire marriage, from before and every single day of our marriage. You looked me in the eye and lied to me. There are probably days, and I hope to God not many, where you ended up having to sleep with me and another woman on the same day. You brought women into our home.
Your sense of betrayal is not a sense at all. It is a very real thing. I would expect you to deal with it no differently.
But do you not see an issue that might need some work? You got to the point where you were breaking the law, not to mention the disgustingness of it. Do you ever think about the victim?
Yeah, of course. I'm sure that's why I'm still here.
He goes with it. Yes, of course. And then beat. That's probably why I'm still here.
I mean, no remorse at all.
What? Wow.
And then he says, I just want everybody to move on with their life.
Oh, well, that's convenient for
Right?
you.
Just snap your fingers.
Hey,
and
everyone. All right. Nothing more to see here. Let's just carry on.
Terrible, terrible.
Well, too bad for him that you're a producer of television and you now have a thing on Hulu that's going to show it even more. Wow.
Well, I got to use my talents,
100% agree. He picked the wrong person to screw around on. But I hope the victim, when I say the victim, the girl that was 16, I hope that she has recovered. Do you have any contact with her?
Every once in a while we do.
Is she okay?
I think she is a survivor. I think she is strong. I think she sought out help, and I hope that her coming forward also gave her some strength in this.
And you coming forward and telling this story, honestly, Jenifer, for being so brave, is really going to help a lot of people.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Leslie.
Wow. Well, I number one, how many people are going to be checking on that spouse today? Hey, what's going on? I mean, just because these stories, if you hadn't caught on, or if that one little thing hadn't triggered everything, it could still be going on.
Oh, absolutely. Had the victim not come forward,
Right.
you know, or let's say the judge had let us bond him out of jail, I might not have found out all the rest of the stuff.
No.
It's just
awful.
Yeah.
Well, Betrayal is wherever you get podcasts. I highly recommend it. Season 1 is about this story, and there's a new season that's just come out. And check it out on Hulu, Betrayal, The Perfect Husband. Jenifer Faison, thank you very much for coming in. And I know you've been telling it for a while, but I appreciate you sharing and kind of getting into it with us.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. 99 X.
For decades, Rolling Stone has set the bar for entertainment publications. Today, Rolling Stone Music Now takes over in podcast form.
It is incredible. Beyonce is in this place that I think is so enviable. I mean, it's so interesting that she starts with ballads.
Yeah, when I opened the live stream, it's like, what's going on? I thought this was going to be a different tone for the opening of the concert, but it is really cool that she's doing this moment, you know, as intimate as you can get in a Beyonce stadium show.
Rolling Stone Music Now, wherever you listen.